So, you're thinking about selling your home in Massachusetts. It's a huge journey for sure. Well, think of this explainer as your personal map. We're going to walk through all the essential questions you absolutely need to ask to make sure your sale is a huge success.
And wow, does that hit home or what? This quote really nails that emotional roller coaster. I mean, it's one of the biggest financial moves you'll ever make. So feeling excited one minute and totally stressed the next? Yeah, that's completely normal. And here's the secret to getting through it all. Success isn't about luck. It's about being informed. It all starts with knowing what to ask before you even put that sign in the yard. Every great quest has a beginning, right? And for anyone selling their home, that very first step, well, it's the most important one. It really sets the stage for everything else. And that first step is all about who you choose as your guide. You're not just hiring someone to take a few pictures. You are literally trusting them with your biggest financial asset. So, what should you be asking?
Let's start with this one. It's a two-parter, and for good reason. Sure, experience matters, but what's really crucial is their commitment level. You gotta know, is this their career, or is it just a side gig?
And why is that so important? Well, because a full-time pro lives and breathes the local market 24/7. They've got the negotiation chops, the right contacts, and a level of dedication that, let's be honest, a part-timer just can't bring to the table. So what does that look like in the real world? Well, take this for example, a broker with over 20 years of full-time experience. Think about that. That's 2 decades of navigating every kind of market you can imagine and getting deals done. And it's not just about one person. A solid team has depth. When you see that key team members, like a transaction manager, have been licensed since 2007, that tells you something. It means they've seen it all and they know exactly how to handle whatever comes up. Okay, so you found your guide. Now for the fun part, building the perfect strategy. This is all about how your home is priced and, just as importantly, how it's presented to the world. You have to ask this question. It is non-negotiable. You need to hear the specifics of how they're going to get your home in front of the right eyeballs. If you get a vague answer here, that is a huge red flag. Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got the old list it and hope method. And on the right, a modern strategic plan. We're talking professional photography, 3D tours, paid digital ads, because your online debut is your first open house. That's where you make your first impression. Now, tied directly to marketing is the huge question of price. And let's be crystal clear. This shouldn't be a guess. It has to be a calculated, strategic decision. And this breaks it down perfectly. Guesswork is just pulling a number out of thin air. A real strategy involves a deep dive, a full comparative market analysis, or CMA, where they're analyzing recent sales, market data, the whole 9 yards. You want to position your home to sell, not to accidentally make your neighbor's house look like a bargain. All right, the strategy worked. The phone is ringing, offers are coming in. This is it. This is the moment where a real pro really earns their keep. In a hot market, getting a bunch of offers is the dream scenario, right? But it can get chaotic fast if there isn't a solid plan. You need an agent who has a clear, organized process for this exact situation. And here's what that process should look like. First, get everything organized, maybe in a spreadsheet, so you can see it all side by side. Second, look at everything, not just the price. What about the financing, the contingencies? And third, give you, the seller, all that info so you can make the absolute best choice for your situation. So, you've accepted an offer. High five. But we're not quite at the finish line yet. Now we get into mastering all the little details, the logistics that get you from that accepted offer to a smooth closing day. This is such a great question to ask right at the beginning. It just sets expectations. You want to know who your go-to person is going to be at every stage of the game. A pro team will have a really clear answer, kind of like this. Before the offer, the listing agent is your main point of contact. After, a transaction manager might step in to handle all the deadlines and paperwork. The goal is simple. You should have constant support, never radio silence. And part of those details is the legal stuff. In Massachusetts, there are some disclosures you absolutely have to make. You've got the lead paint notification, Title V for septic systems, which is basically just a required inspection, and you have to disclose any big problems you know about with the house. A good guide makes sure you're protected by handling all of this perfectly. We're getting so close. You can see the finish line from here.
Now it's time to talk about what actually happens on closing day, especially when it comes to the money.
This is the question everyone has, right? The bottom line. After everything is said and done, what are you going to have to pay and what will you actually walk away with? So here's a quick look at the usual suspects for seller closing costs in Massachusetts. You've got the state's deed excise tax, your attorney's fee, the brokerage fee, and a few other small things. But here's the most important part. A true professional isn't going to wait for you to ask. They'll give you a detailed seller net sheet from day one, so there are zero surprises at the end.
So, there you have it. You've got the map, you've got the questions, and you know what to look for. Selling your home is a big deal, no doubt, but being prepared makes all the difference in the world. Really, the only question left is the guide you're choosing ready to answer all of this for you?